on your television. We are set for action, the Colts and the Cardinals. 15th all-time meeting between these two teams. Colts are 8-6 against the Cardinals. 4 straight wins for Indy. Colts won the toss. They defer to the second half. McAfee kicks it off. We're underway as he bangs it through the back of the end zone. The Cardinals will have it at the 20-yard line. And that's where Carson Palmer will open up with this Arizona offense. Palmer last week, 419 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions in the win against Jacksonville.
Yeah, he kind of likes this Bruce Arians style of offense, spreading things out, getting the ball down the field, but he's well aware of the rush linebacker Robert Mathis and his 13.5 sacks. 2 major areas of concern for the Cardinals: third downs and red zone production.
Rashard Mendenhall in the backfield on first down. Hand it to Mendenhall, and not much there. Stumbles down after the gain of 3 for Arizona. Take a look at the starting offense for the Cardinals. Bradley Sowell is a former Colt, and he is starting at left tackle after Arizona traded Levi Brown to Pittsburgh. That didn't work out. At least for the Steelers, it didn't. Michael Floyd coming off a career game. Floyd, big numbers, 193 yards and a touchdown last week. The victory in Jacksonville. On a 2nd and 7 now for the Cardinals. Give it to Mendenhall. He's got room. Mendenhall accelerating across the 35. And a first down for Arizona. That's a 15-yard rip for Mendenhall. Landry whiffed. Could have brought him down sooner.
And this is his longest run of the season, 15 yards, and a good bounce to the outside there, and then the speed to get beyond Angerer and pick up a big first down. Good start for Mendenhall. 6 carries in a row.
Previous long was 12. Andre Ellington has been more of the home run hitter. Mendenhall, his relationship with Arians goes back to the Pittsburgh days when Arians was the offensive coordinator. Play action. Palmer steps up. Palmer, a floater up in the air, almost intercepted. Hausler, the intended receiver. Vontae Davis back there defensively for Indy.
And who else was back there with it for Indy? Robert Mathis, number 98, with good coverage down the field. But I think when Davis gets over to the sidelines here, a little worried about where his feet may come down. Looked like he took his eye off the ball. Well, that would have been a big turnover for the Colts. Would have been only their 8th or 9th interception of the year. They've only had 1 in their last 5 games.
Last week was the first time that Carson Palmer did not throw an interception in a game this season. So 2nd and 10 now for Arizona. Colts crowd the line, movement, and flags come down. Veteran ref Bill Levy running the show here today.
False start. Number 71 offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And it is Darren College, the veteran. Defensively for Indy, Corey Redding, one of the leaders on this defense, had a sack last week in the victory in Tennessee. Linebackers, no Eric Walden. He was suspended after the headbutting incident with the Titans, so Bjorn Werner gets the start, the rookie out of Florida State. And Cassius Vaughn continues the start for the injured Greg Toller. Toller, the former Cardinal, missing his 4th consecutive game with a groin injury. Palmer underneath, tight end. It's Hausler. Hausler taking it to the outside, and right at the first down marker, LaRon Landry over there defensively. It will all depend on the spot to see if they'll move the chains.
A good job by Lyle Senline, the center, getting out in front of Hausler on the screen pass. 84 is Hausler working on Mathis, lets him go to the inside. Well-designed play. Here's Senline out in front. And Hausler got just enough for the first down. So he refused to go out of bounds there.
So new set of downs for Arizona to work with out near midfield. Running play, Ellington tripped up. He got hit down low by Darius Butler. And a 4-yard gain. Told you about Eric Walden last week. This was the Thursday night game in Nashville. Walden yanked off Delaney Walker's helmet and then headbutted him after the play. He was hit with an unnecessary roughness penalty, but was not ejected from the game. They took a look at it, suspended for this game, appealed it, appeal denied.
And if he throws a punch and hits him in the face, he's thrown out of the game.
That's
What's
right.
the difference?
2nd and 6. Palmer on a crossing route from Michael Floyd, and Floyd ducks out of bounds. In his second year from Notre Dame, Palmer has talked about the maturity level of Floyd. He doesn't come across as a second-year guy, and he's really followed Larry Fitzgerald's lead of how to prepare and how to go about your business.
And talking to Palmer about him, he says he has deceptive speed. He doesn't look like he's running very fast, but you can see on that play he had just enough speed to pick up 9 yards and another Arizona first down. This is a wonderful opening drive for Palmer and the Cards.
Double tight end set. They're inside the 40 now of the Colts. Straight back. Palmer. It's caught. Hausler. And Palmer put it exactly where it had to be. 20-yard hookup.
And you know what strikes me on this play, Ian, is Landry not going for the knockout shot because of the rule changes as far as protecting defenseless receivers. Watch Landry come in. He's going to try to hit the ball out of Hausler's hands with his right shoulder. Normally, a couple years back, you'd think of Ron Landry as a big hitter going for the knockout shot, but the effect of the rule changes protecting defenseless receivers having an effect on that play.
Patrick Peterson is in, and he's in motion right now for Arizona. Give it to Ellington. Ellington runs into a crowd and picks up 3 yards in the process.
Yeah, I talked to Peterson yesterday, and he would love to get himself into the end zone on offense. He said that would be absolutely awesome. He would join such players as William the Refrigerator Perry, Deion Sanders, and Mike Vrabel.
And Peterson admitted the antennas always go up when he checks into the game on offense. Peterson now on the sideline for Arizona, the Pro Bowl corner. 2nd and 7 for Arizona. Ellington with a head of steam. Ellington cutting to the outside. There's that shifty movement. The rookie out of Clemson, and the ability to get to the perimeter. He turns it into a 12-yard pickup.
Watch him bounce to the outside here with that quickness. Gets beyond Bethea and then down the sidelines. But this is really a good 1-2 punch for the Cardinals. Mendenhall doing the work inside, and Ellington as a receiver and on the perimeter.
1st and goal now inside the 5 for Arizona. Cardinals looking to get on the board first. 10th play of the drive. Palmer. Fade. It's Fitzgerald. Touchdown, Arizona. A strike from Palmer.
Great play by Fitzgerald, getting away with the pass interference. Grabbed the jersey of Vontae Davis, pulled him aside. Perfect throw from Palmer up high. Vontae Davis victimized by the wily veteran Larry Fitzgerald.
7th touchdown of the season for Fitzgerald. 10 plays, 80 yards. Extra point from Feely. And a 7-0 lead for Arizona. The communication has been key. The quarterback and the wide receivers all on the same page right now, Dan.
Watch the right hand right under the jersey there. And Davis has no shot at that perfectly thrown ball by Carson Palmer.
Touchdown on the board for the Cardinals. Opening drive. Quick start for Arizona against a team that have absolutely been slow starters this season. Indianapolis in the opening quarter. Feely kicking off. David Reed, the deep man. They'll take a knee, and the Colts will have it at the 20-yard line. First drive coming up for Indy. Larry Fitzgerald, touchdown last week in the win over Jacksonville, and a touchdown to open things up here today. Arizona riding a 3-game winning streak. Cardinals have won 5 of their last 7. They've scored 27 points in each of the last 3 games. Hadn't scored over 27 in any of the first 7. So now the Colts take over with Fleener and Doyle. 2 tight ends. Richardson in the backfield on first down from the 20. Luck to throw. Pump and fire. Incomplete. Try to hit T.Y. Hilton. Patrick Peterson, a blanket there defensively. Andrew Luck Well, fourth quarter comebacks, that's been a trademark of what he's done, but he's also putting himself in that select company among quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, today he'll be looking at matchups. Anytime he finds a linebacker or a safety covering a tight end or a running back on the perimeter, he'll go in that direction and take advantage of that coverage.
Colts are 4-1 on the road this season. Wins in San Francisco, Jacksonville, Houston, and Tennessee. The loss in San Diego. Handoff to Richardson, and he's caught from behind. Dan Williams limits him to a gain of 2. Take a look at the starting offense for Indianapolis. Hugh Thornton is the rookie stepping in at left guard for the injured Donald Thomas, who's on IR with a quad injury. Backs and receivers. No Stanley Havili today. Havili out with a concussion. So you're going to see Jack Doyle and Wesley Saunders and Justice Cunningham getting opportunities. 3rd and 8 now. Levon Brazil is on as a third receiver for Indy. Luck steps up. Luck trying to run for it. And this aggressive Arizona defense is not going to let him get to the marker. 3-yard gain. Dansby the hit. NFL Today update. Let's head to New York. JB, Boomer Esiason.
No one should doubt whether KC can score, Boomer.
Well, back and forth they go. Dan Fouts is going to appreciate this game. This is Alex Smith, his 3rd TD on the day. 5 yards to Dwayne Bowe. Kansas City takes the lead, 38-34.
7th lead change of the game. 1:22 left in regulation. Back to Ian and Dan.
And JB and Boomer, San Diego just trying to hang around in the very tight AFC playoff picture. McAfee on the punt. Peterson. Flag is thrown. Peterson stood up at the 38-yard line after the 42-yard punt. Sergio Brown getting downfield on special teams to make the play. Indianapolis has committed the fewest penalties in the NFL this season. 38, costing the Colts 313 yards.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 13 receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, timeout.
Penalty against Jerron Brown on special teams. Arizona with a 7-point lead. They've got the football back when we return. Back in Glendale, Thanksgiving just around the corner. I don't know if they know their fate yet. Feel for him. Palmer swings it to the outside. Mendenhall walking the tightrope. Out of bounds. Mendenhall nearly turned that one up the field and took it all the way. 25 yards.
And he's going to school the rookie Jorn Werner here on the sidelines. Little shake to the inside. And then great balance here as he gets by 2 there. Cassius Vaughn can't get him out of bounds. It takes Bethea to get him out of bounds near midfield.
And that's the longest reception of the season for Mendenhall. He's had his longest run already. Ellington checks in. Palmer is now 5 of 6, 72 yards, and the touchdown to Fitzgerald. Out near midfield, Palmer, protection holds up. Palmer, incomplete. And a flag thrown. Ellington in a matchup with a linebacker, Angerer.
And it's really a good call, too, because Angerer never located the ball. And what the quarterback Palmer sees is it.
Pass interference, number 51 defense. First down, spot of the foul.
Angerer has his back to the quarterback, so Palmer can throw the ball wherever he wants to his receiver down the field. You can see this is illegal contact, pass interference, and a 24-yard penalty.
So first down inside the 30 for Arizona. Hausler goes in motion. Stephon Taylor getting an opportunity, the rookie out of Stanford. Takes it for a 2.5-yard gain on first down.
This is another good drive for Arizona. Their first one was a thing of beauty as they went 80 yards. This 15-yard run by Mendenhall to the outside. And a 20-yard strike down the middle to Hausler as he absorbs a hit from Landry. How about the play by Fitzgerald, tugging on the jersey of Vontae Davis, locating the ball and scoring.
3 receivers set for Bruce Arians in his first year as a head coach of the NFL. Ellington up the middle, a cut by Ellington. And he dances his way to the 12-yard line. Good block from Paul Thamaika on that offensive line. Springs Ellington for 13.
Now let's check out the fourth-year player from Arizona State as he's going to trap the defensive tackle here and just push him to the side. How about the jump cut there by Ellington?
Peterson is in on offense now for Arizona. Sets up on the outside. Peterson, the motion man. They give it to him. Peterson on the spin move. Brought down at the 10. It's a 2-yard gain. Darius Butler with the hit for Indianapolis.
That's really a fine tackle by Butler because Peterson had ideas about cutting back and using his speed to get to the end zone. But watch number 20 here. He flies in here and just gets enough of Peterson to bring him down.
His 6th carry of the season, now has 60 yards rushing. Second and 8. Palmer on a pump. Palmer incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald working that corner with Vaughn and Bethea back there defensively for the Colts.
Now this is a forced pass, and lucky for Palmer it wasn't picked off because Bethea was right there, double coverage. The pump fake right there doesn't really help the Cardinals at all, and you can see it. Ball had been on target. Bethea was going to have a big hit on Fitzgerald.
Andre Ellington is in on a 3rd and 8 for Arizona. Already a 7-0 lead. Cardinals looking for more. Palmer throws. Incomplete. Werner got a piece, and then Bethea had an opportunity. Roberts, the intended target. Field goal unit comes on for the Cardinals.
Good reaction by Bjorn Werner. And this ball came off his hand so fast, right into the chest of Bethea. Actually might have hit him in the face mask. But a tough attempt there for the interception. Great play by Werner.
And a 28-yard attempt now for Jay Feely, who has made 17 straight field goals. It's blocked! The streak is over. Indianapolis holds on special teams. It remains 7-0 Arizona.
In the circle is Sergio Brown. Watch as he gets just a little bit of a jump and will get inside Calais Campbell. Campbell at 6'8", trying to block 2 men, but that little bit of a jump was all Brown needed to make his head coach extremely happy as they turn the Cardinals away.
So Brown with the block. Jay Feely had hit 32 of his previous 33 field goal attempts. Colts have it at the 20-yard line. Luck straight back. He's got Kobe Fleener. Fleener and Luck going back to their college days certainly had chemistry. But now, in the absence of Reggie Wayne, Fleener's getting more opportunities in the passing game.
Yeah, real good quickness by Fleener to get under the linebacker Dansby on the short crossing route. And it's man-to-man. Nice block there by Trent Richardson. Fine catch by Fleener. 16 big ones.
First down of the day for Indianapolis, trailing 7-0. Cardinals have 9 first downs already. Richardson in the backfield. In the air once again. Justice Cunningham, his first NFL catch. Mr. Irrelevant, the final player taken in the 2013 draft out of South Carolina. Fantasy football fans get a fresh start with Player Challenge, a 4-week game that now includes even bigger cash prizes. See rules and sign up at cbssports.com/challenge.
Well, Cunningham's got a catch. Is he still irrelevant?
No, he's until the next draft. You're still irrelevant. It's not fair. It's a bad nickname.
That's too bad.
Let's change that. Let's strike it from the record.
There's no justice.
Oh, 2nd and 6. Richardson. Trent Richardson getting to that second level, but can't take it any farther than that. Tyrann Mathieu limits him to an 8-yard gain.
And talking to Pep Hamilton about this defensive front. Calais Campbell, we've already seen him, but he is a huge man.
Mountain of a man, 6'8", 300 pounds. John Abraham still producing. Active sack leader in the NFL. Gerard Powers, former Indianapolis Colt, came over with Bruce Arians. Spent 4 years as a member of the Colts. Luck. Bootleg too high. Flag is thrown. Looking for Fleener.
They're going to call defensive holding against the Cardinals on Fleener. Had 2 men guarding him on that pass play, and a dangerous throw by Luck.
Pass, holding. Number 56 defense. 5-yard penalty. Previous spot. Automatic first down.
And it is Carlos Dansby in his second stint with Arizona. We asked Luck about this Cardinals defense. He said aggressive. He said knowing Bruce Arians, his personality is they're not going to go down without a fight. They fly to the football. Give it to Richardson. And he is spun down after the gain of 2. Calais Campbell will get credit for it. Donald Brown has been the more effective running back. But right now Chuck Pagano not making a change in that rotation. You'll see Brown on 3rd downs. Brown was the one that helped seal the win against Tennessee last week.
Yeah, Pep Hamilton talks about the 2 of them. Richardson's the jabber. Brown is the uppercut. Home run style.
2nd and 8 now for Indianapolis. Out of the gun. Luck has the time. Fires over the middle to T.Y. Hilton. 1st down inside the 35. Colts are on the move. That's a 13-yard hookup.
Luck going back to the huddle this time. He had been working the no huddle, but Pep Hamilton on the sideline. Philosophy has changed a bit since Bruce Arians was the play caller last year. He's going to force the pass rushers, namely John Abraham, to fend off these big guards with power running plays.
This drive remains alive. A 1st down for Indianapolis. Luck to throw it again. Up in the air. T.Y. Hilton brought down by Peterson, and flags all over the field.
Pass interference. Number 21 defense. Spot of the foul. 1st down.
Now man-to-man coverage with Peterson and T.Y. Hilton. Ball up in the air. And Bruce Arians saying it's uncatchable, but it's uncatchable because number 21 is going to tackle number 13 right about there.
It's a 24-yard penalty.
And you can ask yourself about whether that's catchable or not, but 3 officials all saw it the same way. Pass interference.
6 offensive linemen for the Colts. Jeff Linkenbach is now on the field. Cunningham shifting out of the fullback spot. Handed off to Richardson. Driven down after the gain of 1. Ronald Talley leading that charge for Arizona. Cardinals come in ranked number 2 in rush defense behind the Jets. Indianapolis at 7-3. They're running away with the AFC South, undefeated in the division.
They got their eyes on a potential 1st round bye in the playoffs if they can keep things rolling.
Carson Palmer has his team out to a 7-0 lead. We've got 1:40 to play in this opening quarter. 7th play of the drive for the Colts. Indy looking for the equalizer here. On 2nd and goal. Luck. End zone. Too high. Darius Hayward-Bay in a matchup with Matthew.
Just a smart throw by Andrew Luck because Hayward-Bay was well covered by Matthew. But it's 6'2" over the 5'9" Matthew. Luck is going to give his receiver a shot at this one in the back of the end zone. Smart throw.
Now Donald Brown comes in for Indy. 3 receivers set. Lavon Brazil also in there.
There's Brown.
Will work as a receiver on 3rd and goal. Shotgun for Luck. Luck, pump fake. Luck getting out of trouble. On the move, Luck. Throws incomplete. Never had a chance. The pressure coming from Campbell and Abraham. And Indianapolis will settle for a short field goal attempt.
Well, Campbell's got to be shaking his head here. Number 93. He's going to get all over Andrew Luck here. as he works a little stunt with Abraham and just shrugs him off. Rare talent, Andrew Luck.
Adam Vinatieri on, AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. 14th time he has had that honor in his career. 27-yard field goal, and he splits the uprights. Indianapolis on the board, 7-3. Arizona with the lead. We've got 1:15 to go, first quarter. Back to Glendale after this. Well, the blocked field goal attempt, Sergio Brown. Indianapolis able to take the ball, move it down the field 71 yards. The 27-yard field goal for Vinatieri. McAfee kicks it off, and Arenas will not get an opportunity here. Big kick from McAfee. Arizona in front, 7-3, late first quarter. Always great when the comedian Carrot Top comes out for NFL action.
Been in the sun too long.
A little bit. 7-3 lead for Arizona. Hand off to Mendenhall. Mendenhall running off tackle, and he picks up 8 yards down low. Vontae Davis with the hit. They've lost a partner and a friend. Now it's payback time. Don't miss a new episode of the hit drama Person of Interest, Tuesday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS.
Well, the Cardinals doing a good job on the ground, averaging only 85 yards a game on the ground coming into the day. And already, they've rushed for 63 yards.
Grade 20!
Coming in, ranked 25th in the NFL in that category. Mendenhall running with a purpose. Turns the corner. Mendenhall's got a first down across the 40-yard line. Kelvin Shepard, the linebacker, makes the play. 13-yard gain for Mendenhall.
And of course, Mendenhall and Bruce Arians go way back to their Pittsburgh days. And it's this type of speed to get to the outside. A good job of not grabbing the face mask by Jarrell Freeman.
15-yard run, 13-yard run, the two longest of the season for Mendenhall. And he got them both in this opening quarter. We'll head to the second quarter. Arizona leading Indianapolis 7-3. We'll return to Glendale. After this, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Start of the second quarter here at University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew. 7-3. Cardinals leading the Colts. Quick hitter. Catch is made on the outside by Fitzgerald for a 4-yard pickup. Well, the playoff picture in the AFC, Denver at 9-1. The loss for Kansas City. Chiefs are now 9-2. San Diego is back in the hunt. And the winner of the Tennessee-Oakland matchup going on right now would actually move into the number 2 wild card spot based on tiebreakers.
You're kidding.
No, I'm dead serious, Dan. 2nd and 6. Indianapolis focused on getting a bye and still focused on the potential of home field. Palmer, deep ball, hauled in by Floyd. Over the shoulder grab against Vontae Davis. Terrific catch by Floyd.
Couldn't have better coverage than Davis had with Floyd. Davis never locates the ball. Palmer is red hot throwing the deep ball too. Floyd kept his eyes on the ball, and at 6'2", he goes up high to make the catch, and Vontae Davis having a rough first half. Trying to guard Fitzgerald and Michael Floyd.
Oh, he asked Vontae Davis about playing corner in this league. He said, other than quarterback, you have to be the most confident player on the field. If you get down on yourself, you can't play corner in the NFL. And he got some tough love from his brother as well growing up, Vernon. Timeout called by the Cardinals. So they have 2 remaining, 13:35 to play in this first half. With NFL Mobile, you can get live video access to exclusive premium content on your smartphone. Call ** NFL to download or go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Message and data rates may apply.
Palmer threw for over 400 yards last week. He's over 100 yards already, and working more closely with Michael Floyd. What a luxury he has with Fitzgerald on one side drawing most of the double coverage. Floyd against the single coverage that time of Vontae Davis. He's a physical receiver. He talked about how he likes to mix it up with cornerbacks. Used his big body that time to keep Davis away from the ball.
First down for Arizona. Early stages, second quarter. Dre in front of Mendenhall. Palmer pumps, throws, end zone. Caught by Fitzgerald. Touchdown, Cardinals. Second hookup in the end zone today for Palmer and Fitzgerald. Arizona builds on its lead, 26 yards.
Yeah, single coverage on the outside. Cassius Vaughn, number 32. Watch a little hesitation move here. Right there to the post. That is just enough for the separation for Fitzgerald, and Palmer was under some real duress. The blitz was coming, and he stood it in there as Kelvin Shepherd came and delivered another strike. Palmer now 7 of 10 and 2 scores.
Everything is clicking right now for Arizona on offense. Got the running game going with Mendenhall, and then Palmer spreading it around to Floyd and Fitzgerald as Feely adds the extra point. Fitzgerald making the grab. The veteran Carson Palmer likes it. Carson Palmer told our group that over the last month, everyone is just getting it on offense. The importance of the plays coming in when you're the guy, it's your assignment. They're getting the concepts of Bruce Arians' philosophy. Herron takes a knee.
There's nothing better for a quarterback to beat the blitz and to beat it with a touchdown pass. Watch the delayed blitz here by Kelvin Shepherd. Palmer sees man-to-man on the outside. He knows he's got a post corner route for Fitzgerald. He stands in there, delivers. Fitzgerald makes the catch. Well, this is what it means to be an NFL quarterback. See the blitz and beat the blitz.
Fitzgerald, his 14th multiple touchdown game in his NFL career. Once again, the Colts are in a hole. This is something they have grown accustomed to. Donald Brown gets an opportunity and picks up half a yard on the play.
This hole may be a little bit more difficult to dig out of, though, against this Cardinal defense. Number 2 in the NFL, stopping the run. And the run is what Chuck Pagano and offensive coordinator Pep Hamilton want to do. But when you fall behind, it puts more of the onus on the quarterback and the receivers.
And these numbers just don't stack up in Indy's favor. They've been outscored 42-3 in the first quarter, the last 4 games, 38-9 in the second quarter. Luck, deep ball, one-on-one, Luck. Hilton gets his hands on it, stride for stride, tight coverage from Patrick Peterson.
And Hilton having trouble getting off the ground. In fact, he's staying down here. Peterson with a lot of contact there. None of it called. The ball maybe 6 inches too far, and the hard landing by T.Y. Hilton has him still down on his face.
Colts have lost so many playmakers on offense. Right now the concern is for T.Y. Hilton. Medical staff spent some time with T.Y. Hilton before he was able to get up on his own. He did walk off to the bench area. 3rd and 9 now for the Colts. Donald Brown in there. Luck to throw it. Hit as he throws. Incomplete. Matthew jumping in front of Fleener. And it's 4th down for Indianapolis.
Let's go back to the injury to T.Y. Hilton. Watch as he lays out for this ball. He's going to hit his chin right on the ground. And they're checking him out on the sidelines. They're giving him the concussion test. But with Hilton out, that leaves just Levon Brazil and Darius Hayward-Bay and David Reed with just 26 catches on the year among the 3 of them.
Luck is 0 for his last 4. McAfee the punt. High punt, but Peterson moves forward for it. Flag is thrown, bounces directly up in the air, and the Colts touch it at the 42-yard line of Arizona. 38-yard punt. Here's Bill Levy.
During the kick, hold number 20 receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, timeout.
Antoine Cason called on the hold. Andrew Luck taking a big shot as he released it from Calais Campbell. Arizona physical team. Arizona's got the lead, 14-3 over Indianapolis. 12.5 to go in this second quarter. Palmer throws it into the ground. Flag comes down.
False start. Number 79 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And that's Sal on the false start left side.
Well, here's Calais Campbell right here. Watch how much room he has, but watch how he, at 6'8", makes up for that with great speed. Now look at Luck. Doesn't it wince, doesn't blink, and congratulates the guy for hitting him.
He's a gentleman.
Things have changed in the NFL.
First and 15 now for Arizona. 6 penalties costing the Cardinals 59 yards. Ellington with the juke move as he hits the 30-yard line, picks up 4 yards on the play. Tomorrow on Mike and Molly, get ready for a Thanksgiving showdown. Melissa McCarthy and Billy Gardell star in a new episode of the hit comedy Mike and Molly. That's tomorrow at 9, 8 Central. Only CBS. Second and 11 now for Arizona. Stack 3 receivers for Palmer, but he works the other side. Connection made with Hausler. Third-year tight end from Florida Atlantic. Antoine Bethea there in coverage. 6-yard pickup through the air.
Hausler now the leading receiver for the Cardinals, who catches for 41 yards. But Palmer went away from the stacked receivers, got the single coverage on the short side of the field, and Hausler easily beat his man and picked up the nice gain.
Third-round draft pick back in 2011. Last year on IR with a shoulder injury. Empty backfield here. Shotgun for Palmer on a 3rd and 5. Protection is there. Palmer hits his spot. Andre Roberts. And a flag thrown. 2 of them. 8-yard gain to the 45.
And this is a tough call. It's going to go against the Colts for hitting a defenseless receiver, I believe. Leading with the helmet to the neck and head area of the receiver, but still a bang-bang play. It's going to go against the Colts.
Personal foul. Hit on a defenseless receiver. Number 30 defense. 15-yard penalty from the Cats. First down.
And it is LaRon Landry. You made the point early in this game that Landry may have pulled up a bit in a potential big hit to avoid something like this. And that's the wrong number, though. They called 30. The hit was 20. Darius Butler.
Well, Landry's got the reputation. It's a 2-0, not a 3-0.
Butler, formerly with New England and Carolina, now in his 5th year in the league. And it sets up Arizona at the 40-yard line of Indianapolis. Mendenhall. 4-yard pickup. Inside running for Mendenhall.
That's really been the key so far in this first half for Arizona. Positive plays on 1st and 2nd down. They've only had 2 third downs that they've had to convert here in the first half. So moving it, being successful on 1st and 2nd down. They've had 13 first downs so far. That's an amazing number so far.
Bruce Arians, coach of the year last season as the interim head coach when he stepped in for Chuck Pagano in the Colts. Palmer flushed out, and a comebacker for Floyd. First down, Arizona. Everything is working. 10-yard gain.
Well, Palmer doesn't move a lot in the pocket, but this time he shows how important a strong arm is, as he's going to be chased out of the pocket and then back away from the line of scrimmage, and still has enough on the ball to get the ball to Floyd. Great throw by Palmer.
Pressure came from Corey Redding. Palmer is now 10 of 13, 152 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Arizona looking for more. First down at the 26, Palmer. On the timing route, Fitzgerald can't hold on to it. LaRon Landry there defensively for Indianapolis.
And do you put this one in the time capsule? A dropped pass by Larry Fitzgerald on the slant. He doesn't drop many. Gonna hurt his fist pounding this ground.
Defensive coordinator Greg Minuski of the Indianapolis Colts. They come in ranked 22 in total defense, but 10th in points allowed. 2nd and 10 for Arizona. Get it to the outside. Roberts trying to get to the perimeter, brought down by Vontae Davis. It's a 3-yard gain.
That's a huge tackle by Davis, because if Roberts gets by him, he is gone. Just a 2-step drop and getting the ball out to Roberts. How about that one-legged tackle by Vontae Davis?
Dime package here for Indianapolis. 8th play of the drive for Arizona. We hit 9 minutes to play in this first half. 28 total plays for the Cardinals, 14 for the Colts. On 3rd down, Palmer, ball knocked out of his hands and recovered. Mathis able to jar it loose. College there to make sure there was no further damage.
Yeah, strip sack, 14.5 now for Mathis. In the 41st time he's forced a fumble in his career. Great explosion around Sowell. And lucky for the Cardinals, they got on that fumble. Great play by Mathis.
Leading the NFL in sacks this season. This is a 48-yard attempt for Jay Feely. Lines it up, and he knocks it through. 17-3. Arizona's got the lead at home against Indianapolis. Rejoining you here in Glendale, Arizona. A look at downtown Phoenix. We're about 16 miles northwest of that area. University of Phoenix Stadium opened in August of 2006. Hosted the Super Bowl back in February of 08. The Giants over the Patriots in a wild one, 17-14. Kickoff from Feely. Reed takes a knee. Colts will have it at the 20-yard line. The Home Depot SEC on CBS heats up your holiday. First on Friday, Arkansas takes on LSU, the annual battle for the boot. Then on Saturday, the Iron Bowl. A.J. McCarron, the #1 Alabama Crimson Tide, against their biggest rival, the Auburn Tigers. It all begins live at 2:30 Eastern. College football special, College Football Today at 3.
A chance to get to see A.J. McCarron starting to become a front runner for the Heisman Trophy. What a game that'll be, the Iron Bowl.
Indianapolis really struggling in the first half over the last 4 games. How many times can you come back and rally? How many times can you rely on Andrew Luck to do it? Luck bounces off a would-be sack and floats it out of bounds. It was Campbell, all 6'8" of them, and then the chase from Shaughnessy. 2nd and 10 for Indianapolis.
And again, Campbell just can't believe he can't bring down this quarterback, but this is an unusual quarterback. 240 pounds, very agile, very strong upper body. And Campbell is frustrated for a second time.
#1 pick in the 2012 draft. Size, smarts, terrific arm, the total package. But right now his team is in a 17-3 hole. From the gun, Luck. Intercepted! Carlos Dansby takes it all the way. Touchdown, Arizona. And the Cardinals are flying high in the first half.
Yeah, finally the pressure gets to Luck and he can't get away from it. And it's an ill-advised throw to Carlos Dansby. Like Darnell Dockett, #90, is going to get to the quarterback. Dansby now has 13 career interceptions. That's his first return for a touchdown.
Extra point, Feely. It is 24-3 Cardinals. 7:58 to play in this second quarter. Cardinals getting it from all angles.
#90 is Darnell Dockett working on right guard Mike McGlynn. I said this was Dansby's first career interception return for a touchdown. Actually, it's his third. Looking like a running back there as he crosses the goal line.
Dansby, a second-round pick of Arizona in 2004, had the brief stint with the Miami Dolphins, then came back. Now in his 10th year in the league and continues to make plays for Arizona, and a leader, one of the leaders of this defense. Feely kicking off. Colts have had no opportunities. They're going to get one right here in the return game. Spilled out. Reed across the 15, hit by Bethel. Excellent special teams player. NFC playoff picture. Carolina at 8-3, leading the wild card hunt. San Francisco at 6-4, step back from a year ago, and there's Arizona amongst that group, trying to make a playoff push. Bruce Arians, 21st year in the NFL, but his first chance to be a head coach at this level. Was a head coach in the college game at Temple from 1983 to 1988, was 31 years old. Swinging out for T.Y. Hilton, and he's out of bounds. 5-yard gain. Darrell Washington with the chase. Well, last year, that was a very difficult situation that Arians stepped in to with Chuck Pagano. Diagnosed with leukemia. The cancer is now in remission. Give it to Donald Brown. And Brown with a 2-yard pickup. Hit by Carlos Dansby. Last year, after winning their first game following the diagnosis, this was the scene in the Colts locker room.
We got one more game ball for BA. Chuck on 3. 1, 2, 3, shot!
Arians went 9-3 in Pagano's absence. Pagano returned to coach week 17 and in the playoffs. I'm not sure you could have handled it any better than Bruce Arians did. Flag thrown as Luck is trying to hit Hayward Bay.
Here you get Gerard Powers for pass interference. But again, this ball may not have been catchable, thrown behind both Hayward Bay and Powers. That may be the discussion right now. Arians signaling that ball was uncatchable.
Well, he has a rather strong opinion.
He always does.
There is no foul in the play for defensive pass interference. Fourth down.
Well, that opinion, that strong opinion, convinced the officials, perhaps. They're down at the bottom. Watch the in route here, but the ball thrown way behind both the defensive back and the receiver. Deemed uncatchable.
Luck is now 4 of 12, 37 yards, and the pick 6. Arizona has opened up a 24-3 lead on the Colts with 6:54 to go, first half. McAfee the punt. Fair catch called for by Peterson and tackled by his own man. Antoine Cason. Great hit.
Oops. Yeah, he got pushed into his own man. Number 38, Sergio Brown with another play. But that's very dangerous. We saw what happened in the first game of the year with Jacoby Jones getting run over by his own man. Cost him a couple of weeks.
Peterson appears to be okay. Arizona's got it, 1st and 10 at its own 33-yard line. Give it off to Mendenhall, and he's buried. No gain on the play. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report, JB and Company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Now, before the game, we asked Chuck Pagano, what's it going to be like? He said, look, I'm going to share a moment with Bruce. We're going to shake hands. We're going to have a few laughs. We're going to hug, and then we're going to get on with it. It's been all Arizona. Palmer throwing to Michael Floyd. Floyd breaks that tackle from Vaughn and turns it into extra yardage, a first down to the 45.
And before the game, Arians set an NFL record for most hugs in a pregame warm-up.
He did. That was an 18-year-old record that Arians was able to break.
Who held that record?
It's tied. It was a record that 7 others had held. Arizona. Best half of football they've put together this season. On both sides. Going against a good Indianapolis offense that has not been able to establish the run, something that Pagano talked about, getting back to their identity. Palmer is sacked. Palmer thrown down. Ricky Jean-Francois. You may want to check the celebration when you look at the scoreboard.
Well, you don't have a whole lot of sacks. He came in with just a half a sack, so he's going to get a full one here. Here's Jean-Francois. Palmer trying to escape the pocket. Good protection initially. And then an overzealous celebration.
I do want to make the point on the pronunciation. It's fluctuated. He was Jean-Francois when he was out in San Francisco, but now in Indy, he prefers Jean-Francois. So that's what we're going with. Ellington. Andre Ellington. What an effort. And he kept all his hair.
Well, they should have tried to pull his hair because they certainly couldn't tackle him by the conventional way. He's just 5'9", about 200 pounds. Sal with a good block there, but look at this determination and missed tackles by the Colts.
Very close to a first down. 3rd and 1 now for Arizona. After that run by Ellington. Great vision, balance. Ellington thrown down by Mathis. Indianapolis defense trying to make a statement and get this team going.
And that's what you need from your superstars. A play like that on 3rd down. It looked like the Colts or the Cardinals had momentum. Standing up here, watch the speed of Robert Mathis. Unblocked, flying, and bringing down Ellington just as he gets the handoff.
Ellington, by the way, did have a chunk of his hair pulled out last week by Jason Babin of the Jaguars during a run. Brazil, the return man. Fair catch called for at the 12. 35-yard punt. Colts have it, trailing 24-3 here in the second quarter. Let's go to New York. JB and Boomer.
Cowboys and Giants.
Well, take a look at this play action fake from Tony Romo in the shotgun. Puts the ball right in the belly of DeMarco Murray. And you can see Jason Witten sneaking right in behind the linebackers. 14-3. Cowboys lead the Giants in the second quarter.
Romo, 5 of 10, 84 yards, 1 touch and 1 pick. Back to Ian and Dan.
Guys, it's Arizona leading Indianapolis 24-3. 3:31 to go, second quarter from Glendale. Motion man is Fleener. Luck has completed just 4 balls so far. Luck off play action. Tipped up in the air. And it's caught by the lineman, Satelli. After the double deflection.
And that's a legal play because it was touched by the defense first. So this is a live ball and heads up by Satelli.
He got into a shoving match with Darrell Washington.
It's Calais. 6'8", gets his left hand up in the air, knocks the ball up in the air. Watch Campbell right here. Double team, then he comes off, knocks the ball in the air, and heads up by Satelli.
Seven-year veteran gets the catch on the play. Luck steps up. Luck throws. Ball is jarred loose from behind Fleener.
Gerard Powers punishing his former teammate. Luck took him a while to find Fleener over the middle, but once he does, he throws a strike. And a good shot there by Powers, and he's shaken up after the big hit.
So they're checking on the former Colt, Gerard Powers. Signed a 3-year, $10.5 million deal with Arizona. And Powers will jog off. Justin Bethel will come in. And Bethel himself was dealing with a concussion from last week. 3rd and 10 now for the Colts. They have 53 yards of offense. Arizona has 255. Spread the field on a 3rd and 10. Luck with a soft toss. Hilton makes a man miss, but Hilton cannot get to the first down area. 5-yard pickup for Hilton. Colts will punt again.
Now this defense just playing outstanding football, shutting down the run totally and harassing young Andrew Luck. Played zone that time. Todd Bowles, they've got 29 sacks on the season. 10 of them come from different guys, so it's a different guy getting after the quarterback each week. That's great balance for a defense.
And we hit the 2-minute warning here in Glendale. It's all Cardinals. Arizona defensive coordinator Todd Bowles has this unit playing at a very high level right now, and this half in particular, they have been impressive. Indianapolis has been held in check. Pat McAfee punts to Patrick Peterson. Peterson brought down just shy of midfield. 45-yard punt. And a return of 11 yards for the Pro Bowler. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB and Company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Arizona can add to this total 255 yards of offense. Indianapolis averaging 2.6 yards per play.
2 timeouts to work with. The ball at midfield for Carson Palmer.
Cardinals' season high in points is 27. They've scored that each of the last 3 weeks. Peterson on a flip for Fitzgerald. And he throws it out of bounds. So instead of taking a loss off the razzle-dazzle play, Fitzgerald chucks it.
Yeah, it had a little razzle, but not much dazzle. Palmer trying to pass block there for Fitzgerald. Heads up, though, to avoid a 6 or 7 yard loss. Just throw it away. Line up and play 2nd and 10.
And the first career pass attempt for Fitzgerald. They're not going to put that on his Canton tape.
He dropped a pass today, too.
That won't be in there either. 2nd and 10. Throw it back for Peterson, and he's leveled. So maybe they're getting a little too cute here with Vaughn and Buffet combining on that hit. They've got a 24-3 lead. Loss of 3.
Yeah, when Peterson comes into the game, the defense makes the alerts. They change the defense. They're going to make sure that he doesn't get free. And on that wide receiver screen pass, as soon as he caught the ball, the Colts were all over him.
And the Colts not calling timeouts.
They got all 3 of theirs, too.
This is a 3rd and 13. Could have stopped the clock with 1:25. Instead, we'll go under a minute. Palmer trying to convert it. And he does with a strong throw. Fitzgerald, Larry Fitzgerald, has now gone over the 11,000-yard mark for his career, the youngest to hit that plateau in NFL history.
And that type of catch there will go on his Hall of Fame resume and tape. In the crowd here acknowledges that accomplishment.
So Fitzgerald tossing that ball to the sideline. That'll be a keepsake. Fitzgerald passes Randy Moss as the youngest player to 11,000 career receiving yards. Jerry Rice, Torrey Holt, Andre Johnson. Impressive list. And Arizona can get more points here. 52 seconds to play in the first half. Palmer from the gun. Underneath. Catch made by Alphonso Smith. 10th catch of the season for the 4th-year running back from Kentucky. 7-yard gain for the Cardinals. Arizona has 1 timeout remaining. Smith remains in there. Palmer. Almost intercepted by Bethea, jumping in front of Fitzgerald.
Well, this would have been a huge play for Indianapolis because Bethea does a great job of reading this in-cut by Fitzgerald, breaking on the ball, and had the ball until the somersault and it came out. Eagles now will be thinking about picking up a first down and getting Jay Feely in range.
29.
Long this year is 52. Long in his career is 61. Great kicking conditions inside a dome.
3rd and 3 now for the Cardinals. Hausler, the motion man. On the shovel. Taylor breaks a tackle but can't get to the marker. Bethea involved in that stop for Indy. So down to 15 seconds left.
Really, the only negative play the Cards have had all day was the blocked field goal by Sergio Brown. Last time Feely tried one. And they're not even going to try a field goal here. Feely's still on the sidelines. Now he comes out after getting a drink of water.
So the timeout taken with 3 seconds left. Feely making his way out onto the field. Now in his 13th year in the league, a seasoned veteran. Made his way through the Arena League. After a number of stops around the NFL, has found a home in Arizona. Signed as a free agent in 2010. Career long of 61. He set that last year. Long this season is 52. This will be a 50-yard attempt for Jay Feely. Jacksonville holding it. Feely. Dead, solid, perfect as time runs out. Magic number for Arizona has been 27. That's what they've scored each of the last 3 games, a 3-game winning streak. Bruce Arians' team has 27 in the first half today. And they've got a big lead on Indianapolis. We'll come back. Verizon Halftime Report is coming up after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. 27-3, the Cardinals in front as we get you ready for second half action. Right now, let's take a look at the first half performance presented by Intel.
Great catch by Larry Fitzgerald, beating the coverage there of Cassius Vaughn on the post corner route. Second touchdown of the afternoon for Larry Fitzgerald.
And back here in the broadcast booth, Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts, recognizing how important this game was for Arizona just to stay in the playoff picture. Also realizing that their margin of error is slimmer in the NFC. Not as much the case for Indianapolis just because they've built a cushion, but the way the Cardinals have performed in the first half, making a statement here.
Well, and you got to give credit to that offensive line. It's the same offensive line that Palmer's been working behind all year long. How rare is that in the NFL this year? And it's really showing off today because he's hot, his receivers are getting open, and Bruce Arians has got to be extremely happy. Now for the Colts, they've got another huge deficit that they have to try to overcome, something they have not been able to do in one of those games against the Rams at home.
Yeah, this recurring theme, something Pagano and the team talked about, it's become one of those hot button issues now for the Colts because every week it seems they have to dig themselves out of a hole. They're doing it against a quality opponent here today. Reed, the kickoff return man for Indy, and he lunges to the 24-yard line. That's where the Colts will have it as Javier Arenas makes the play on special teams. Total yards, 58 for Indy, 274 for the Cardinals in the first half.
16 yards rushing for the Colts, and that's their bread and butter as we've got a Cardinal down on the field after that kickoff return. Marcus Bernard being attended to. But the Colts, they average 112 a game on the ground. So you know offensive coordinator Pep Hamilton is going to at least try to get that going so they can get some momentum and get this pass rush off their young quarterback, Andrew Luck.
Bernard, fourth-year linebacker out of Jackson State. They are checking on him. We'll step aside. They've been checking out the neck of Marcus Bernard. He did get up and walk off the field on his own power. Colts take over on first down. From the 24, they get T.Y. Hilton involved right away for a 5-yard pickup. First play from scrimmage in this second half.
That's really been one of the really marquee matchups today. T.Y. Hilton going against Patrick Peterson. Peterson says he's capable of taking the top off the defense. He wants to play him aggressively as he did in that first half. A lot of bump and run.
And trying to work a little quicker here. Pick up the pace. Underneath Richardson. Catch and run for 3 yards. Carlos Dansby with a hit for Arizona.
This is what we're talking about. This is what Peterson talked about. He gets away with a little hold there. Doesn't get called. Now Peterson prevents a potential touchdown pass by grabbing for the interception. Again, more contact down the field. But the officials letting Peterson play, get his hands on Hilton, and is taking advantage of that.
Sartelli just went to the sideline for Indianapolis. Linkenbach is in for the Colts, so McGlynn shifts over to center. McGlynn was at right guard. 3rd and 2 now, trying to convert first possession of this third quarter. They are 0 of 5 on third downs today, trailing 27-3.
Timeout Arizona before the snap, their first timeout.
So Cardinals call a timeout with 1:03 gone by in the third quarter.
And that allows Sartelli to come back in the game. So they'll have their normal offensive line.
Now the Cardinals this season 6-0 when allowing less than 24 points. There haven't been a whole lot of matchups in the history between these two teams. The last Arizona win against Indianapolis, Jeff George, 2 touchdown passes. They build a 17-6 lead. Tim Rosenbach scored 1-yard touchdown run. A few minutes later, Cedric Mack intercepts George, lateral to Marcus Turner, returned it for a touchdown. Cardinals a winner 20-17. 4 straight wins for the Colts over the Cardinals since that meeting. 3rd and 2. Sartelli returns. Operating out of the gun. Luck. He'll throw it underneath to Fleener for the first down. Fleener across the 40-yard line. That's a 10-yard pass completion.
Well, finally, they convert a third down, and something that's plagued them all season long. But this is smart, going no huddle, starting to set the pace, the up-tempo offense that Luck runs so well.
But still no ground game for Indy. Darius Hayward-Bay. He's brought down right at midfield. Another completion for Luck. That one covers 8 yards.
But by going no huddle, it really helps out your offensive linemen. They know the snap count. They know they're working fast, and the defense has caught off guard. Luck now 4 for 4 on this drive. Good start for him to start the second half.
And while the numbers have not been good in first halves of late for Indianapolis, they have picked it up in second halves. And that's why Luck and the Colts have been able to rally. Luck in trouble. And Luck has to eat it. A sack for Campbell, collaborating with Dockett. And a loss of 4 on the play for the Colts.
They'll probably split this second half, and sometimes it takes 2 to bring down Andrew Luck. Here's Dockett, and here's Campbell. 4-man rush. Abraham getting pushed to the side there by Costanzo. Good job by him. But just relentless pressure by Campbell and Dockett.
And another third down for Indianapolis. Play clock is down to 3. Down to 1, and the Colts have to call a timeout. They weren't going to get the play off in time. Indy will face a 3rd and 6, 12:20 mark of the third. Coming up tonight on 60 Minutes. Whitey Bulger was public enemy #1 and on the run for 16 years. So how did the FBI find him? Find out yourself. The story of Whitey Bulger tonight only on 60 Minutes. So now a 3rd and 6 for Indianapolis.
Just moments ago before that sack, they had a very manageable 3rd and about 2 yards. So the sack by Dockett and Campbell is huge.
Richardson in the backfield. Luck to throw it on the slant. And a 1st down to Brazil.
Boy, it's a heck of a catch by Brazil. This is 3rd of the season. He's got a slant route on the left side of the screen. The perfect throw. As Brazil beats Powers for the 1st down.
Six straight completions now for Luck. Make it 7 in a row. Hayward Bay underneath the coverage to the 36. That one covers 6 yards. So Indianapolis using this hurry-up offense, and they've picked up the pace. It's been effective.
And it's conserving time as well.
No running plays on this drive. All passes. Another one. Luck going up top. Read the intended receiver.
And it's been a challenge for Andrew Luck with the receivers and the injuries to Reggie Wayne and Dwayne Allen. Reed does get by Powers here. Ball thrown about 2 yards too far. But that's a case where the receiver goes inside the defensive back. It takes him more time to get down the sideline. The quarterback normally looking for him to go around to the outside to make the catch.
Reggie Wayne torn ACL, and a huge loss that was. Security blanket for Luck. Luck to throw it. Tight window. Unable to complete it to Reed.
Great timing by Gerard Powers as he went right over the back of Reed as the ball was getting there.
And now what do? It's 4th down. Colts are keeping the offense on the field.
Well, you have to. You're down by 24. You've been having success throwing the ball. You've been getting good pass protection. The question now is for Arizona, will they press Luck and bring the blitz, or will they play a little zone here? They're very aggressive. Todd Bowles likes to blitz.
Would have been a 53, 54-yard field goal attempt. Instead, they're going for it on 4th and 4. Luck knocked up in the air. Intercepted or incomplete.
Well, they're better off not catching that ball.
It doesn't matter other than the yardage.
Right.
So you can pad your stats as a defensive player, but you actually are going to benefit if it's incomplete, and that's what it's ruled. Arizona takes over. They've got the sizable lead on Indy. Back at University of Phoenix Stadium, and through the hallway, look at that strapping bruiser. Dan Dierdorf, our colleague, and the announcement earlier this week that this is going to be his final season as an NFL on CBS analyst.
You talk about a great pro, not only as a Hall of Fame football player, but as a broadcaster. Great style, intelligence, and a real wonderful way of treating his human beings.
No doubt a gentleman, and wish Dan nothing but the best. Still has a bunch of games to do, though, before the season is over. Give to Mendenhall up the middle. And Dierdorf here with the Cardinals, and also in St. Louis.
Yeah, he's got his name in 2 stadiums.
That's incredible.
And didn't play in either of them.
That's an even better point. How does that happen?
Well, that's how good he was.
That is an F at the end. The guy's jacket's in the way. Sir, could you? Nope. Okay. We'll leave that jacket there.
How else would you spell Dierdorf?
Well, PH. 2nd and 8 now for the Cardinals. Ellington.
This is a dilemma right now for Bruce Arians. You want to take time off the clock and everything. You want to be conservative offensively because you got a huge lead, but you don't want to totally take your offense out of it. Now you're forcing a 3rd and long for Palmer, and the Colts know they've got to create some type of turnover to get good field position, get back into this thing.
3rd and 8 for Arizona. 9:55 to play in the 3rd. Palmer hooks a pass. Low throw. Jaron Brown. He's got it. First down, Cardinals. 16 yards, the rookie from Clemson.
Heck of a catch here and a great throw by Palmer. No question that he got down underneath that with both hands. Great effort by Brown.
And they'll move the chains into Colts territory. Running play for Mendenhall, and he's met right at the line. Give him a gain of 1, forward progress. Jarrell Freeman, first man there for Indy, then getting some help. Each of the last 3 games, the Colts have gone against backup quarterbacks. Case Keenum and Kellen Clemens, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Today a different story. Carson Palmer, who is really hitting his stride this season in his first year with the Cardinals, formerly with Cincinnati and Oakland. 2-time Pro Bowler. Now in his 11th year in the league. Ellington brought down quickly by Freeman. Big loss on the play.
You talk about Palmer, former Heisman Trophy winner. 17 of 22, but the real stat is 9 different receivers have caught his passes here. And you can see the mindset of Greg Minuski. He's bringing pressure now, trying to get linebackers at the point of exchange, trying to force some type of turnover.
But Palmer did not throw a pick last week. He's been clean in that department here today as well. 3rd and 14. Palmer right on the hands of Michael Floyd. First down, Arizona.
That's why you like to have tall receivers who can reach out with their long arms and make the catch away from a defender. Just like that. Floyd having another big day. 5 catches for 76 yards now after going for 193 last week.
And he's been dealing with a shoulder injury. Had a 91-yard touchdown last week in that win in Jacksonville. On first down, Mendenhall trying to squeeze through the middle. Picks up 2 yards on the play. Josh Chapman with the tackle for Indy. And for Arizona, here's the wild card picture. Carolina now 8-3. San Francisco owning the tiebreak right now, but at some point Arizona's going to have to get it done within its own division, and that's been the issue. 6 straight losses within the NFC West. 0-3 this year in the division. 2nd and 8. Motion man is Fitzgerald. 27-3 lead for the Cardinals. Palmer hits his man Floyd. Another slant for Arizona. This one covers 9 yards and a first down to the 25.
You talked about how they're 0-3 in the NFC West. Well, you take a look at their schedule, what the Cardinals have left, and you can see NFC West, NFC West, NFC West. So they're going to have to get the job done, as you said, Ian.
And the other 2 games out of the division are on the road, at Philadelphia, at Tennessee. Another long drive for the Cardinals. On the roll and toss to the end zone. Incomplete. Fitzgerald was looking for his 3rd of the day.
He thought he was grabbed there by Cassius Vaughn. Fitzgerald is going to get beyond Vaughn. A little stop and go move there, and then sliding to the inside. Watch Vaughn wrap his right hand around the hip of Fitzgerald. Vaughn gets away with one. Well, that would have been number 3 for Fitzgerald.
10th play of the drive. They've used up 5 minutes off the clock, and a helpless feeling here for Luck and the Colts offense. Palmer, a deep drop. And one of the rare passes that was a little bit offline or too high. Jim Dre, the intended target. So it's 3rd and 10 now from the Indianapolis 25. Cardinals came in today 31st in the NFL on 3rd down conversions.
And they've done a good job today on long 3rd down conversions, 2 for 2.
4 of 8 overall. This is a 3rd and 10 for the Cardinals. Palmer looking for it all. Almost intercepted by Landry. Flag is down.
Yeah, they're going to get Vontae Davis for illegal contact.
Davis shrugging his shoulders.
Pass interference, number 23 defense, 1st down, spot of the foul.
Well, here they are right there. You can see the left arm of Vontae Davis. Now the question is that ball even catchable? Almost caught by LaRon Landry.
Goes down as a 20-yard penalty. And they set it up at the 5. Mendenhall in the backfield. He gets the call. Mendenhall slicing to the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. And a souvenir for a lucky Cardinals fan. Arizona, the most points they've put up in a game this season.
Good speed by Mendenhall to get to the corner. He's got Floyd and Fitzgerald and the tight end coming over here in Jim Dre. Just an outstanding job by that entire right side of the Cardinal offense. Give Winston and Faneca credit too.
Extra point, Feely. 11 plays, 64 yards. The Cardinals lead it 34-3 over Indianapolis. They chew up more than 5 minutes off the clock, and Arizona now has a 34-3 advantage on Indianapolis. Rashard Mendenhall, 10 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown for him. David Reed's going to take it out. And Reed is tripped up as he crossed the 30-yard line. The kicker getting in there, Jay Feely. Mendenhall getting it done. Balanced attack here for Arizona. Colts take over 1st and 10. At their own 31-yard line. Donald Brown is in there. Luck to throw it. And a rainbow to Saunders. Cardinals claim he didn't hold on to it, and they are correct. Incomplete.
Now Rashad Johnson did a great job at coming over with a good shoulder shot on Saunders here. Did not lead with a helmet. You can see the ball come out. And again, the effect of the emphasis on safety showing up here. Good clean hit there by Rashad Johnson.
Second and 10. Luck on a flip underneath. Trying to get Brown out in space. And they couldn't. It's a loss on the play as Darnell Dockett sniffed it out. AFC playoff picture. Indianapolis came into the day with a 3-game lead in the AFC South, but Tennessee win would inch them a little bit closer. A Colts loss would turn that into a 2-game deficit. Those two will match up next week. The Colts will be home for the Titans. Third and 12 for Indianapolis. Fleener trying to take a stab at it. Tyrann Mathieu in coverage, and another 3 and out for the Colts.
And it's been that kind of day for Andrew Luck. You can see the frustration. He thought he had the 6'6" Fleener. In good shape on 5'9" Matthew, but the ball sailed just a little bit on him.
Fleener has been held to 2 catches, 26 yards. T.Y. Hilton, 4 catches, 27 yards. 6 3-and-outs for Indy. Big kick from McAfee. Peterson backpedals. Spin move. Makes one man miss. Trying to get to the outside. He's slowed down at the 25. Andy Studebaker making the play on special teams. A 13-yard return after the 54-yard punt. Arizona looking to improve to 7-4 on the season. 318 yards of offense for the Arizona Cardinals. On the give to Mendenhall, he's met by Ricardo Matthews. It's a loss on the play of 2 yards. Thanksgiving Day, the NFL on CBS carries on a holiday tradition. The Raiders tangle with the Cowboys. It all begins live at 4 p.m. Eastern. JB and Company, special holiday edition of the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines.
Time to get your turducken ready.
You do that. You do the mix.
Well, John Madden taught me that, and it's pretty awesome. It's not easy to do, but it's awesome.
2nd and 12. Palmer on a line to Floyd to the 45. Is Palmer just locked in right now, or have they figured out this Indianapolis defense?
Well, he is a veteran quarterback, and he's being tutored by Bruce Arians and Tom Moore. But this is an example of a hot quarterback, throwing it early on the post route there. And you saw the smile from Floyd. You get a nice big gain, and you don't get any contact. Makes the receiver very happy, and you get 19 yards to boot.
And Floyd has gone over 100 yards, 7 catches for 104 today. For the second-year wideout, 6'2", 220-pound Michael Floyd. Mendenhall getting down low for a 2-yard gain. Cashes Vaughn in run support. Mentioned Tom Moore, assistant head coach of the Cardinals. Of course, spent 13 years with the Colts, mostly as the offensive coordinator, then that last year as a senior offensive assistant. And his fingerprints all over that Super Bowl run and the success of Peyton Manning. Moore was out of football. He wanted a job.
Well, he got his knees fixed. His health was good. He contacted Bruce Arians, said, I want to coach again. And Bruce, smart guy that he is, says, hey, come with me to Arizona. A living, breathing encyclopedia in offensive football.
Arians and Moore saw one another at a Jacksonville game last year. Ellington gets the call on this run, and he moves it into Colts territory to the 48. And that's when Tom Moore told Bruce Arians, hey, I'm feeling good. And Arians at that point thought, if I ever get an opportunity, I'm going to want to bring Tom Moore with me. And that's exactly how the stars aligned.
And a perfect balance of personalities. You've got the fiery, aggressive Bruce Arians, and you've got the grandfatherly type, calm, cerebral Tom Moore.
And it's working. They're moving up the charts and the rankings because of what they've done the last month. And it's all falling into place on offense. Palmer, Ellington, the dangerous running back. Palmer said that Andre Ellington could be a wide receiver for this team. That's how gifted he is as a pass catcher, his hands. But they do need him still as a running back, but he also has that extra gear.
Yeah, I asked Palmer, I said, what do you think? He could be a slot receiver? He says, no, he could be a wide receiver, play out wide, as we've seen him line up a couple of times. And I'm sure as this season goes along and Ellington gets more comfortable catching passes, that he'll become even more important to this offense.
New set of downs, just short of the 35. Palmer. Deep ball into double coverage. Incomplete. Fitzgerald, the intended receiver. Davis and Landry were there defensively.
Now, who's he targeted today? How about this?
Everybody.
Yep. He hasn't thrown one to his center, Lyle Sendline.
That might be in there.
Samson Satelli for the Colts did catch an Andrew Luck pass earlier today. 10 different receivers for Palmer's 21 completions.
Well, last week Arizona had 0 turnovers. They had gone 22 consecutive games with at least 1 turnover. Injured Colt on the play. Medical staff is out there. Vontae Davis on one knee. They're already down a corner. Greg Toller hasn't played in 4 games because of a nagging groin injury. Toller really wanted to play in this one against his former team. He spent 4 years as a member of the Arizona Cardinals, 4th round pick of the Cardinals back in 2009.
Well, they get their legs tangled up just a little bit there, stretching out for that ball. Hard to tell, but it's some type of leg injury. And you know how aggressive Bruce Arians is. He's thinking right now, I'm going to go after Vontae Davis's replacement.
And it's Josh Gordy, 3rd-year defensive back from Central Michigan. Bruce Arians, so many emotions tied to this game because of the role he played last year with Indianapolis. Give is to Ellington. That flag is thrown at the 35. Angerer in on that stop.
Holding. Number 71 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
Arians walks into his office and he looks at that Coach of the Year trophy and he said, I think to myself every time I look at it, did this actually happen? Stepped in, went 9-3, filling in for Chuck Pagano.
How about being also named Assistant Coach of the Year?
You get a trophy for that, though?
No, you don't get a trophy. You get a nice pat on the back and a way to go.
A certificate? Anything?
I'll have to get back to you on that.
A gift certificate? 2nd and 20. Palmer. Too high. Andre Roberts. Cassius Vaughn there defensively. 38 seconds left now in the 3rd quarter.
It was interesting talking to Andrew Luck about Tom Moore. Spent time with Tom Moore before the draft. Spent a couple of hours watching tape. Real thrill for Andrew to listen to the man and learn from him even before he was drafted.
Yeah, he said he had 7 or 8 film sessions with the coach, and it was really his first introduction to NFL offense. And an incredible learning tool for Luck to prepare himself for the combine and then the draft. Palmer is thrown down back in Cardinals territory. Jean-Francois, 2nd one of the day. Loss of 7 on the play.
Yeah, lining up as a nose tackle here. Picks up his 2nd sack of the day. No celebration after this one. He probably finally got a look at the scoreboard. Working against Sendline, beating a double team there. That's a great effort by Jean-Francois.
Cardinals will punt it, but they won't get this punt off until the 4th quarter. No need to. End of the 3rd. Arizona 34, Indianapolis 3. Back to Glendale after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS. This has been a rough day for the Indianapolis Colts. They trail Arizona 34-3, trying to block that punt, and a flag is thrown. Brazil, the return man. The ball settles in at the 15-yard line. But penalty marker as Zastadil was in heavy traffic.
There is no foul for running into the kicker. The play was blocked into the punter. Timeout.
There's the answer from Bill Levy. Early 4th quarter. Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway postgame show. JB and the rest of the gang, latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. I'm Eagle Dan Faust, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew. Early 4th quarter, Arizona 34, Indianapolis 3. On a give to Richardson. Oh, he loses the ball at the end of the play.
They're going to say forward progress was stopped, though. See the official come in here.
And Luck trying to get everybody situated here as Bell got Richardson down low on the wrap-up.
Richardson having another tough day.
They just showed it on the big screens here, and you might have heard that reaction.
Flag too, Ian. Bruce Arians threw the flag out before the ball was snapped.
Frosty Rucker jars it loose. If the play was whistled dead already after the forward progress, then there's no challenge.
There is no challenge. Forward progress is not a reviewable play. Arizona will not be charged a timeout or a challenge.
Well, once Richardson started going backwards, the officials come in and say his forward progress has been stopped. And I believe that's the correct call there.
9 yards rushing for the former Cleveland Brown, Trent Richardson, acquired for a first-round pick after the Colts were dealing with injuries at that position. Luck moving out of the pocket. Nothing open downfield. Trying to go up high for Saunders. And that's part of the issue. Because of those injuries, it's that next man up mentality, but you just don't have players that are stepping into those roles that seem to fit. Richardson came over in the deal. 8 games, averaging 34 yards per game, 2.8 average. Donald Brown has been more effective, although they don't see Brown as an every down back either.
No, Brown has got 2 carries today for just 1 yard. He's been averaging almost 6 yards a carry. But this defense of the Cardinals has been more of the reason, plus getting the lead and forcing the Colts to put the ball in the air and not have any running game at all today.
Offsides called against the Cardinals. Luck out of the gun on the crossing route to Brazil. And he's out of bounds. And we saw earlier Luck trying to hit Wesley Saunders. Saunders probably would never see the light of day on the field if Dwayne Allen was healthy, because then Fleener would be the second tight end, but everybody moves up a notch based on those injuries.
And don't forget about the injury to fullback Stanley Havili, not playing today because of a concussion. That has really affected the Colts offense because he's so valuable, can do so many things.
Luck. Hot throw to Hilton. 11 yards and a first down.
Yeah, I've been in the situation where you're down by a lot. You really don't have any chance of winning, but you want to at least start to think about just getting a touchdown. Just go down the field, get a good drive going, so you have something to feel good about in the film session tomorrow.
Luck just moved over 100 yards passing on the day. Richardson keeps the legs churning across the 45. Campbell with the tackle for Arizona, 6-yard gain. And here's the IR. Offensive players. Ahmad Bradshaw was the big acquisition from the Giants. Vic Ballard had the impressive rookie season. Reggie Wayne, a future Hall of Famer. Dwayne Allen was supposed to be a huge part of this offense. And their starting left guard, Donald Thomas, out with a quad injury on IR. High throw. Richardson's got it. He curls into Arizona territory to the 45. Rashad Johnson with a tackle, 8-yard gain through the air.
That was a nice job by Richardson. First of all, making the catch and then realizing where the defender was, spinning back to the inside. He gets the first down.
Timeout taken with 12:09 left. Arizona 34-3 over the Colts. This is Scorpion Gulch. If you want more information, please Google it.
I wonder what that place goes for.
It's a nice view.
Airy.
On first down, Luck. Flag is thrown. And Luck with a dart to Reed. Penalty marker thrown back at the 46-yard line. Costanzo.
Holding. Number 74 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Oh, apparently people wanted more of Scorpion Gulch. They wanted to see what was on the other side.
Not much.
Yeah, that's...
Look, a corral or something over here.
Well, you could probably put a pool or a pond in that area. Pond's probably better for you. First and 20 now from the 45. Here's Luck. On the out route. Hilton unable to haul it in. NFL Today update. We're going to New York. JB and Boomer.
Witten loves the Giants.
Yes, he does. 4 TD receptions this year between the Giants and the Cowboys for Jason Witten. Here's his second of the day. It's Tony Romo's 200th career touchdown pass. Dallas leads 21-6 in the third quarter.
I think Fouts could do wonders with the Scorpion Goats. Back to the bird and the beard.
JB, if you have any further information on the Scorpion Goats, please pass it along.
Put an offer in that place.
Get it on the cheap. Wide open, Hayward Bay. And out of bounds across the 45. 11:36 mark of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, the Colts are becoming the enigma in the NFL right now. That 38-8 loss to St. Louis at home opened a lot of eyes around the league in amazement. When people around the league see this score, they're going to wonder about Chuck Pagano's team.
But their resume is so impressive when you have wins over Denver, Seattle, San Francisco. They've been giant killers this year. 3rd and 10. Luck. He's going to run it, and he's got room. First down and then some. Sprints out of bounds inside the 20.
Well, that's his longest career run because of the blitz and the man-to-man in the secondary.
So Indianapolis still in control of the division. They could win their 8th division title since realignment took place in the NFL back in 2002. The only team to win more division titles is New England. Patriots have won 9. In the red zone. 9th play of the drive. Luck. Up top. Incomplete. Hilton in a matchup with Peterson. Well, this Arizona defense comes in ranked number 9 overall, 8 in points allowed, and they get after the QB.
Well, it's been this way all day for Andrew Luck. He took that big hit from Campbell there, but had been harassed. He was harassed that time. Made a poor decision throwing the ball over the middle. Dansby turns it into a pick 6. But you got to like the fight in Luck as he does not quit here. He's got his team in the red zone.
23 takeaways for the Arizona D. That's 3rd in the league behind Seattle and Kansas City. Luck tried to thread the needle to Brown. Dansby getting a little piece of it. And it's 3rd and 10. Bowles, defensive coordinator Bruce Arians said he knew when he took the job that with the defense there would be a chance to be competitive. They picked up some backups on special teams. They thought they'd be able to scratch out points early, and now the offense is clicking. Touchdown, Luck to Fleener.
Wow, what a throw. Just ask Jeremiah Bell about that throw. Right over his head. On a line off his back foot. Watch Luck searching the entire field. Left, middle, then to the right. And right by 4 or 5 inches over the top of Bell to Fleener in the end zone. It's too bad we don't have that book. It would tell us whether this is a good idea or not to go for 2.
Well, they're going to go for it.
I think when you're down 34-9, going for 2 is a good idea.
You go for everything. 10:26 to play. Luck out of the gun. And he's got it to Hayward Bay. 34-11 now, Arizona. We're in the fourth quarter here in Glendale. Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway postgame show. JB and company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. McAfee kicking it off. Peterson is back, but he is standing at the 20-yard line. They're anticipating the potential of an onside kick, and that's exactly what happens. Indianapolis.
But Brazil touched it before it went 10 yards, I gotta believe.
So Brazil on the lunge.
Yeah, he got it at about 9 yards, so it's going to be Cardinal ball at the 44.
Timing was just a little bit off. McAfee popped it up in the air. And Brazil did catch it after the 9 yards, not the necessary 10. So Arizona's going to have it at the 44-yard line of Indianapolis when we return. A tranquil day in Tempe, Arizona. Congratulations to Arizona State. Big win yesterday in football. Arizona with a victory. Northern Arizona. It's a clean sweep. And the Cardinals doing their part on Sunday afternoon. Mendenhall, running play for Mendenhall, and he picks up a yard.
Well, Larry Fitzgerald has 3 catches today, all memorable. First touchdown of the day, a little fade route for Carson Palmer, and then a post corner move. He gets behind Cassius Vaughn, and then the one that puts him as the youngest player in the NFL to go over 11,000 yards receiving. Not a bad day.
3 catches, 46 yards, the 2 touchdowns for Fitzgerald. 3 tight ends in this formation with Dre, Hausler, Ballard, the former Super Bowl champion with the Giants. And that ball deflected by Jean-Francois. So it's 3rd and long now for Arizona.
Watch number 99 here. Ricky Jean-Francois having a pretty good day with a couple of sacks and that pass defensed. Nothing more frustrating for a quarterback outside of an interception than having these big old guys knock one of your passes down.
.941 mark here in the 4th. Colts got their first touchdown of the day. Luck to Fleener. Now trying to stop Arizona. Up in the air. Hauled in by Roberts. And a battle with Jaleel Brown, the Phoenix, Arizona native, couldn't take it away from Roberts.
Longest catch of the year for Roberts. Great concentration. Coverage was there. Jaleel Brown, but again, watch a perfect throw. Well, Palmer has always had this skill, the long ball, the great touch.
First and goal now for the Cardinals. From the 6. Mendenhall already has a rushing touchdown. Looking for number 2. Bouncing to the outside. Can he get to the corner? Yes, he can. Flag is thrown. The hold.
Holding, number 81 offense.
Jim Dre.
10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Great effort by Mendenhall. Scored on a similar play earlier in the game, but the effort to get the ball inside the pylon. Unfortunately, Jim Dre called for holding. There they are right here. And you can see that's a good call as Studebaker pulling away, but I like Mendenhall's effort at the end of this run. He sees the pylon. Cassius Vaughn's going to try and keep him out of the end zone, but he gets inside the pylon for the score, but not this time.
Nullified by the penalty. Back it up now to the 16-yard line. First and goal for Arizona. Swing it out for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald met down low by Brown. 3-yard gain through the air.
Still firing the ball, though, aren't they? Pedal to the metal for Bruce Arians. Remember, he's calling these plays.
Last time they've had a 40-point game, go back to 2010. It's a span of 45 games for this franchise. What do you think? It's just Arians and his philosophy, his mindset? That's why they keep throwing it?
Well, I think that's part of it. He is a real gambler, and not much to gamble here, just trying to take time off the clock. He's very confident in that type of play. Remember last week against Jacksonville, they couldn't run the ball worth a lick. He says, I know we can't, so let's just throw it. And that's really given Palmer the confidence, and Palmer having another outstanding day, over 300 yards passing now.
That one to Hausler. Palmer, 24 of 34, 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. We're down to 7:45 remaining. 34-11, Arizona in front. Third and goal for the Cardinals.
Right 5-0. Right 90.
Palmer floats it up. Just out of the reach of Fitzgerald. It's 4th down. Josh Gordy drawing the assignment that time for Indianapolis.
Yeah, he's filling in for Vontae Davis. And his timing is just perfect there, as he came down with his right hand just as the ball was getting there. That's a perfect play by Gordy.
21-yard field goal attempt for Jay Feely. Had one blocked earlier, but Feely has had an outstanding season. Feely knocks it through. Arizona extends the lead. It's 37-11 here in the 4th. Arizona Cardinals trying to move to 7-4. A loss here for Indianapolis, that would send them to a 7-4 record. Home for Tennessee next week. Divisional matchup for the Colts. Arizona will play out of the division once again at Philadelphia. So we'll make the trip east before heading home and get into that division schedule against St. Louis. 37-11, Cardinals leading it.
Well, this has really been a case, a lot of people say, well, sure, they won 3 games in a row coming in to today's game. Competition wasn't quite what it is today, but the Cardinals are a hot team right now, maybe the hottest team in the NFL with maybe the hottest quarterback.
Feely kicking off to Reed. Thought about it, and he takes the knee, bring it out to the 20. Next Sunday takes off with a holiday doubleheader. First, Brady and the Patriots meet the Texans. Then in Game 2, Peyton and the Broncos take on the Chiefs. Huge AFC matchup. Or the Bengals visit San Diego. It all starts at noon Eastern. JB and Company, the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines.
Chargers beating Kansas City at Arrowhead today. Bengals off. That game will be a big one. We'll be there, right, Art?
We will. Out on the West Coast for Cincinnati and San Diego here on CBS. Just over 7 minutes to go. Luck on the move. Luck throws to Fleener. Settles in middle of the field for a 12-yard pickup. Colts trying to get set up quickly here. We'll move under 7 minutes left. And they trail 37-11. 4th catch of the day, 55 yards and a touchdown for the former Stanford tight end, Kobe Fleener. Luck avoids the rush. A rainbow is incomplete. Saunders matched up with the linebacker Dansby. Matthew put the heat on Andrew Luck.
Yeah, just as aggressive as Bruce Arians calling his offense, Todd Bowles calling his defense as defense coordinator, bringing the safety blitz. Matthew getting in there, and Luck still on target.
2nd and 10. Get it to the outside, and Brazil taken down by Powers, former teammates. 9-yard gain for Brazil. But the clock continues to roll. 6.5 to play now in the 4th. One thing Indianapolis has been able to do is avoid losing streaks. They've gone 25 games without consecutive losses. The team record is 40 straight games. Did that from 1969 to 1971. 3rd and 1. Luck. Broken up at the last moment by Powers. Brazil the target for Indy, and it's 4th and 1.
And just slightly underthrown to Brazil, who's having trouble getting up off the ground. Watch, he's going to have to stop, reach back, and that allows Powers to go through with his hands and separate him from the ball.
Now Brazil went down hard on his back. They'll take a look at the young wide receiver. And now it's 4th and 1 for the Colts. Richardson in the backfield. They give it to Richardson. They need him to get a yard, and he doesn't. Frosty Rucker stops him for no gain. And the storyline moving forward for Indianapolis is going to be whether or not they can get this running game back to a consistent level. Early in the season, they were running the ball very effectively, but that has not been the case basically since week 5.
Now Rucker does a good job of getting off on the snap, beating the block of the center Satelli and making the tackle, but another miserable day for Trent Richardson, averaging just over 2 yards a carry today and not being able to pick up that first down.
Through week 4, Indianapolis was averaging 150 yards on the ground. Since then, 88 yards per game rushing. Stephon Taylor is in for Arizona. Now the Cardinals will run it with Taylor. And he's met by Kelvin Shepard for a gain of 1. Back to New York. JB and Boomer, NFL Today update.
Nip and tuck in Oakland.
And how about Matt McGloin, guys? 27 yards to Marcel Reese right here. Now the Raiders are going to take the lead 19-16, about 6 minutes left to go in the game. They're telling us that if the Raiders win this game, they'll take over the 6th seed in the AFC playoff race heading into Thanksgiving and their trip to Dallas.
5:26 and counting. Make that 5:27 left in regulation. Back to Ian and Dan.
That's hard to believe, guys. Winner of Tennessee-Oakland would actually hold down the second wild card spot, and that shows you how things have gone and developed in the AFC this year. Looked like the Jets were in the driver's seat. Now they've lost 2 in a row and didn't look good in losses to Buffalo and Baltimore. Tennessee, after the loss last week to Indianapolis, you figure, well, that might be it for the Titans. They now have a chance to get back into the conversation. And the Oakland Raiders, with Terrell Pryor out, the former Penn State star, McGloin in there running the show.
You figure it out.
Well, I can't. I've admitted to it. Ellington with the catch. And he's got a first down across the 30, but a flag thrown back at the 46-yard line as Palmer took a hit.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 30 defense.
Landry.
Using the helmet to the body of the quarterback, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Here's Leron Landry coming full speed, and he's going to drop his helmet right into the chest of Carson Palmer. Not only a 15-yard penalty, but this may be some greenbacks out of his wallet. He can shake his head all he wants, but you just can't do that.
Landry, a Pro Bowler last year as a member of the Jets. Aggressive, big hitter. And he's played with that reckless abandon throughout his career. Things are changing in the NFL. Taylor driving to the 11. 3-yard pickup. Landry in on that stop for Indy. Carson Palmer, by his own admission, it took some time to get used to the Arian style of offense, get everybody on the same page, but boy, is this offense, and Palmer in particular, on a roll over the last 3 weeks.
Another 70% day for Palmer. Back-to-back 70% days. 400 yards, over 400 last week, over 300 this week. I'd say things are starting to click for this offense.
2nd and 7 now with 3:50 to play in the 4th. Taylor trying to emerge out of that crowd right up the middle for a 3-yard pickup. Arizona's over 400 yards of offense. Indianapolis has been held to 206. Steve Keim, general manager, 27 players on the roster that were not on this team in 2012. He has done just an absolute bang-up job. Also involved in that decision to hire Bruce Arians, which has turned out to be the right call as well. 3rd and 4. And Taylor is brought down short of the first down. Corey Redding, first man there for the Colts. So clock continues to roll. We're under 3 minutes to play now. Field goal unit will come on. And Arizona with a chance to crack 40 points on the day. Here's what's coming up for the Cardinals.
And this type of performance, really important for the Cardinals, especially having to go on the road next week against a surprisingly good Philadelphia team. St. Louis is much improved. Tennessee struggling today with Oakland, but how about those last two? At Seattle and then San Francisco. A tall order for the Cardinals, but they're in good shape to take it on.
40 points for the Arizona Cardinals. 2:17 remaining here in the fourth. And for Indianapolis, I know part of the talk had been trying to get home field advantage, trying to get that first round bye, and really the focus now is going to be figuring out who you are and what the identity of this team is going to be moving forward, as the Colts will fall to 7-4 on the season. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS, the game between the Colts and the Cardinals. Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts. Our score, Arizona 40, Indianapolis 11. 60 minutes will be seen immediately after the game, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. 2:17 to play in Glendale. Feely will kick it off after the 7-play, 34-yard drive. Another field goal for Feely. Reed's going to take it out 6 yards deep in the end zone. And Reed is toppled after 23. Alfonso Smith on special teams. Colts offense takes the field. Andrew Luck remains in there for Indy.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that's a great idea. Exposing him to more punishment. Because this is the time these defensive linemen are thinking about the performance clauses, getting sacks.
His backup is the veteran Matt Hasselbeck. Herron with a long drive. Driving run by Boom Herron. 22 yards brought down by Bell. 2 minutes to play. We're coming back. General Manager Steve Keim now down on the field with head coach Bruce Arians.
It's a pretty good tag team they got going there. No, more hugs for Bruce Arians.
It could set a post-game record as well. Another running play. Got a chance to see Herron, first-year running back from Ohio State. 4-yard gain for Herron. Why do you think they kept Andrew Luck in the game here?
Well, we're seeing exactly why. He's just handing the ball off. And also, as a quarterback, you never want to come out of a game, especially for a young quarterback in this type of situation. It's to show some of his toughness and leadership, but I'm sure they're not going to throw any balls here, expose him to more punishment.
20 of 39, 163 yards, a touchdown, and a pick six for Luck. Also 31 yards on the ground. Well, Herron showing off some of his speed. Up the gut once again. Very close to a first down. Final minute and change here in Glendale.
Yeah, handoff, one more handoff, and that it should do it.
Herron remains in there. Cunningham in front of him. And Herron gets enough for the first down. Well, the Arizona Cardinals move to 7-4 on the season. Right now, they occupy that second wild card spot. And you see all those teams stacked together with San Francisco and Chicago, Dallas, and that's it. Bruce Arians last year the coach of the year when he stepped in for Chuck Pagano. And a post-game embrace. Today, it's the Cardinals with the upper hand. Arizona has now won 4 in a row. They put up 40 points in a blowout win at home over the Colts. Final score 40-11. Cardinals over the Colts. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes, followed by The Amazing Race, The Good Wife, and The Mentalist. So for Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew, I'm Ian Eagle. So long from Glendale. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.